And before you get all pissed off, I'm not talking about just black slave, okay? I'm going back to biblical times. You'd put your ear on the doorway and they'd slam a nail through your ear because you'd say, I want to stay there. I'm dedicating myself to you for, and this is how you know. I just put my freaking ear in your door and you slammed a nail through it. And so it's like, even now, if, let's say you fast forward now and you look at day laborers. I think the day laborers, there's going to be a light shined on day laborers that's going to be maybe a little bit close to how slavery was looked at. Like, oh, this country was built on their backs and blah, blah, blah. And this is where I'm getting at is every day laborer that I hired, and it was never for my work per se, it was always for like odd jobs, painting, let's say I'm doing a partial job here and there, or if I just run into them, or even at work, if I work next to, if I see a gardener in passing, I am as nice to them as they could be. I try to speak to them and not to be condescending. It's because they're humans and they got stories too. They got families and they have the same wants and needs as I do and everybody else. It's just they have different experiences, different limitations, because of the language and the different fears you have when you're probably not documented. But I want my plight to be known that, hey, later on, okay, yeah, we run into day labor, but I get every damn one of them like me. They would never say I'm a bad guy, even though I used them. And if I was born 50 years ago, and slavery was still legal 200 years ago, I would never whip anybody, but let's just say I grew up on a plantation. Oh, okay, Larry, those are the slaves. I would go up to every one of them, and I'd be like I am to my grandma. Hey, can I get you something? That's why I'd probably never work. The slaves would be, all right, well, this guy's a pushover. Let's get out of here. But I just don't have that gene, and that's because of how I was raised. And but history would look back on me. Oh, you were a slave owner. But I think that somebody. Like I say, with day laborers, if we can make that, and I don't know what slavery was like. I've read a bunch of books on it, and I know it's horrible, and I know that for some people, it was that's all they knew. So I would rather, if I was a slave, I would rather work for somebody that was good, just had a good heart, that wanted, do unto others as I have them do unto you, and why not? And of course, everybody's going to look at this like, oh, you're slavery, this. But again, let's go to that first impulse is, okay, do you already not like me because I'm white and I have this point of view, or are you listening to what I'm saying? Because if you really listen to what I'm saying, it's not that big a deal if you just took the information I had. But I think we can't get past that. And if you can't get past that, there's going to be problems in the way you think and the way your decision making is done. You're going to be limited by your own emotions, and so don't get mad when things get heated up, because if you're not arguing statistics and data, and it's like my Elon Musk thing. It's if you want to. Let's say I was a mayor and said, all right, let's figure out this traffic situation. Let's call Elon Musk and let's say, okay, what works with cars? How are we going to do this? And, somebody's like, oh, well, Elon Musk, he's a Republican or he's a Democrat. Like, who cares? Oh, he's a racist. Well, like, whatever. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm saying if we want to fix this traffic thing, let's just look at the data. And by the way, racist, Corolla says, there's never been a better time to be a racist, because you get lumped in with, George W. Bush. Oh, he's a racist. And everybody's like, oh, okay, alrighty, and then you got the James Nichols of the world, or the true racists. They're like, they get lumped in, and so it waters down the term. But yeah, so if we could just go on data, what works better then we'll be back again to where wise men used to be the politicians. All right, guys. Talk to you later. God, why do all my podcasts wind up talking about either homeless or race? Oh man, maybe I should go see a counselor.